You stepped in to help. You didn't have to. You chose to. You meant well, and it still blew up in your face. Maybe you've wondered how that's even fair, how good intentions can end in disaster. Well, 3,000 years ago, a man reached out his hand to catch the most sacred object on earth. He was trying to save it, and God struck him dead on the spot. His name was Uzzah, and what everyone misses about this story is that his hand was never the real mistake. It's the greatest day of King David's life. After decades of neglect, the Ark of the Covenant, the golden chest holding the tablets of the Ten Commandments, the very throne of God's presence on earth, is finally coming home to Jerusalem. David empties the treasury for this parade. 30,000 chosen men, harps, lyres, tambourines, cymbals, the king himself dancing at the front of the procession. And the ark rides behind them, gleaming in the sun, strapped to a brand new ox cart. Remember that cart. It matters more than anything else in this story. Driving the cart are two brothers, Uzzah and Ahio. The ark had been stored at their father's house for years. They grew up next to it. If anyone felt comfortable around the ark, it was Uzzah. The procession reaches a threshing floor, a patch of ground worn smooth and slick, and there one of the oxen stumbles. The cart lurches, the ark tips, and Uzzah does what any of us would do. He reaches out and takes hold of the ark of God. And the anger of the Lord burns against Uzzah. God strikes him down right there, beside the ark. The music stops. 30,000 people go silent. David's first reaction isn't grief. The text says David burned with anger, angry at God. He was helping. How is this justice? And then the anger turns into something colder, fear. David asks the question this whole video is about. How can the ark of the Lord ever come to me? He cancels the parade. He leaves the ark at the nearest house, the house of a man named Obed-Edom, and walks home. So why did God do it? To answer that, you have to rewind, not one chapter, 400 years. In the book of Numbers, God gave Israel exact instructions for moving the ark. It was never, ever supposed to touch a cart. It was built with golden rings on its corners, holding 2 wooden poles, and one specific family, the Kohathites, was assigned to carry it on their shoulders, slowly, on foot. The poles were never even to be removed. And there was one more instruction, spelled out in black and white. They must not touch the sacred objects, or they will die. Every Israelite knew this. Uzzah's family, who kept the ark in their own house, knew it best of all. So where did the ox cart come from? Here's the detail almost nobody preaches. A generation earlier, the Philistines, Israel's pagan enemies, had captured the ark, and when it brought them plagues, they sent it back on a cart they built. That was a pagan people doing their best with what they knew. And God showed them mercy, but Israel saw that cart arrive. And years later, when David organized his parade, they didn't open the scrolls. They copied the Philistines, God's people, moving God's throne, using their enemies' shortcut. Now look at the threshing floor again, the slick ground, the stumbling ox, the tipping ark. None of that happens if the ark is on shoulders, the way God said. Uzzah's touch wasn't the first mistake. It was the last one, the final link in a long chain of casual shortcuts. A new cart instead of poles, oxen instead of Kohathites, speed instead of reverence. And here's the uncomfortable part. Everyone in that parade was part of the chain. David planned it. The priests allowed it. 30,000 people celebrated it. Uzzah was just the one standing closest when the shortcut finally collapsed. The ark stays 3 months at the house of Obed-Edom, and the Bible says God blessed that entire household. Same ark, same holy God. The ark was never the danger. The carelessness was. Because David hears about the blessing and he goes back, but this time he does something he didn't do the first time. He reads. He says, "No one but the Levites may carry the ark of God, for the Lord chose them to carry it." The second procession looks completely different. The ark on shoulders, a sacrifice every 6 steps, slower, humbler. And this time, the ark comes home and nobody dies. So what does a 3,000-year-old cart have to do with your life more than you'd like? Because you and I do this. We take the sacred things in our lives, our faith, our marriage, our family, our integrity, and we move them the convenient way, the way everyone else does it, the way that's faster. We don't decide to be careless. We just take one small shortcut, then another, and each one works fine, until the ground gets slick and the ox stumbles, and suddenly we're standing there like David, angry at God, asking how this is fair. The story of Uzzah isn't a story about a cruel God with a short temper. It's a story about a patient God who let 100 careless steps go by, and a people who mistook his patience for permission. The question was never whether God is dangerous. It's whether we're paying attention. Before this ends, I want to hear from you. Where are you taking a shortcut with something that deserves more care? Tell me in the comments. I read every one of them. Because the difference between David's first parade and his second one wasn't effort. Both took work. The difference was that the second time, he stopped and asked how God wanted it done. So here's the question this old story leaves at your feet. What's the cart in your life? The thing you're doing for God? The right thing? The wrong way? Maybe today is the day to put it back on your shoulders.